What's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and welcome to my roster reviews, where we review yours, well, maybe not yours, but somebody's roster who's got in touch with me about it, and we check out everything they're working towards, all of their characters, all of their teams, and see if there's anything I would do differently. Now, keep in mind, guys and girls, you are a huge part of these roster reviews as well, because I really look forward to reading your comments at the end of all of them and see what you would do differently as well if you were to take over the roster we're about to look at right now. So, without further ado, let's get into it. What's happening, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Shanksy here, and today's roster review is for $44. But, unfortunately, he spent an awful lot more than that. $44 has been playing for 385 days. In that time, he has amassed a massive 5.5 million TCP. This is absolutely huge for that amount of the days played. Strongest team power is 524k. War MVP 6 times for the Scooby Gang. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. I've always wanted to say that. Now I type of instantly regret saying it, but whatever. I'm too lazy to edit it out. He's got 141 characters collected. 52 of them are at max rank already. All-time arena rank is rank 1, with his latest arena rank being rank 28. He is absolutely smashing it. But he has spent at least $1,500. At least. He goes 1.5 grand. I think, I've got to be honest, if he looked into it, I think he may have actually spent more. But, as those famous last words normally go, he's switching to free to play. Tell you what, if I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd have a lot more than $44 and all. Right, so I'm super interested about this roster, right? Because with the time played and the total collection power already obtained, it's going to be a lot of the newer teams that are super duper built up. A lot of the newer teams are going to be scary with some of the older teams. And to be honest, quite a few of the weaker teams going to be left behind a little bit. You know, not a bad position to be in at all. With every time a new team gets released, boom, that power curve creeps in. It's going to be super interesting. I'm looking forward to this one. So, right, who we got favorited? We've got Elsa Bloodstone, we've got Carnage, Mr. Fantastic, Proxima Midnight, Corvus, and Okoye are all favorited. Okoye, obviously, for the Wakandans, probably one of the most influential members of the Wakandans. But the Wakandans are type of without a home at the moment, you know, like, it's probably for one of the everyday farms, you know, like your heroes, your villains type farming. Carnage being favoured, absolutely, definitely. Elsa could do with bumping up there to level 71, especially as she's already on 71k. Level 71 could give her that extra focus, a little bit of extra damage. Not a little thing for her at all. And obviously, with Proxima Midnight and Corvus Rave, part of that Black Order team, absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. Probably the best team in the game, right? Bar none. For a one-hitter, you've probably got to go with them. So getting them up to level 71s as well makes an awful lot of sense. Now, personally, with my Black Order, I've taken them all up to gear tier 11? 11 or 12. I think I've taken them all up to gear tier 12, level 71, with some of them going up to level 75 as well. Right, then top of the shop, we've got Ghost Rider, Mr. Sinister, Black Bolt, and Thanos. All around that 100k mark. That is a massive Ghost Rider. I'd love to see him in action. Same with that Mr. Sinister as well. All of these guys gear tier 14. Very nice. Moving on down, we've got Symbiote Spider-Man already gear tier 14. Super jealous about that. Phoenix at gear tier 14. Ebony Moore at gear tier 14 as well. Looking absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Hella there as well. Definitely a great one to gear tier 14. I've gear tier 14 her recently. No regrets. Scientist Supreme down there as well. Awesome character. Then we've got Juggernaut there at 84. Invisible Woman at 83. 7 red stars on Namor. 82.5k. I bet he hits like a truck in war, and like a wet noodle still everywhere else. One of them characters, right? You literally just build up for one game mode. Black Panther there at 80k, and then we've got 7 red stars on Toad as well. Holy moly, we are literally on the second page of this roster so far, and we've got, what, 3 6 stars, 2 7s, another 6 star, where some of this collection power is coming from, baby. Right, then we go down. We've got Loki over there. We've got Magneto there at 76. We've already got 71k on Emma Frost as well, going up there towards that gear tier 14 for Emma Frost. Arguably, she's a legendary, right? She's going to be a milestone character. Much like Symbiote Spider-Man, she is a legendary, without a shadow of a doubt. Right, then we've got Minerva there at gear tier 14 as well. You've got some amazing characters at gear tier 14. There is no way, and I hate to break this to you, man, even going hard, even hitting all the milestones and stuff like that when they do the orb openings, if you ask them what your spend is, unfortunately, it's probably going to come out a little bit higher, dude. Unless you have just got ridiculously lucky every single time you've opened an orb, and in that case, could you do the lottery for me? Shuri there with 6 red stars as well, looking pretty good. Scarlet Witch. Got Ultron there as well, gear tier 14. Yo-Yo there, definitely worth going up to level 71 on Yo-Yo. Definitely worth going up to level 71 on Colossus as well, especially with tanks, right? Getting that extra focus, getting that extra resistance on tanks makes a whole lot of sense. Right, nothing else standing out there really. Coulson there at level 65, 49k. Now, would you work on Coulson or Captain Marvel first? Captain Marvel. I feel like Captain Marvel could definitely do with it being a bit bigger. But I think what's happening here so far is definitely chasing the red stars. And as I say, with the newer teams coming out, definitely going after like the Fantastic Four and things like that to a real decent level. But Captain Marvel is definitely well worth building up. She is basically a little war room by herself. You know, she's that good, man. And then Coulson obviously going in Nick Fury Shield team. Heimdall in there, the 6th best Asgardian. Bless his little cotton socks. Venom, Punisher, Vision. Cool. Moving on down, we've got Mysterio, we've got Rocket, we've got 45k there on Taskmaster. Worth taking up to level 71 as well. 6 red stars on Squirrel Girl. Holy moly. I would like to know what she heals for once you finally get that 6th star. I would love to know what she heals for, because I'm still in real 2 minds, man, with Squirrel Girl. I think she could be alright. She's never going to be great. But if she's got a big old health pool, she might actually heal for a decent amount. Like, she's never going to be great, but she could be decent. Shield Security there at 45. We've got Falcon there, Nick Fury at 44. So the Shield team is all quite close together. I like it. Drax there at 44. Deadpool at 44. Right, moving on down a little bit. Cyclops at 41. Domino at 42. Wolvie there at 36. Shield Medic there at 36. So all the Shield teams fairly close. All of the Wakandans are fairly close as well. And that's why, again, it leads me to believe that Okoye is literally there for a challenge every day, you know. Storm there at 36, okay. Moving on down, Negasonic there at 34. Blob at 31. Well worth taking Blob up, without a shadow of doubt. Already, I've seen some big mutants on this roster. Well worth taking up Blob to help out with that team, without a shadow of a doubt. War Machine there as well, 31k. Well worth taking up. Great for War. Red Skull there at 32. Right, moving on. And this is where, as I say, a lot of these characters down here, like Bullseye is now viable. Night Nurse isn't anymore. Spider-Man, not really, guys. Not really. You know, Nobu, 7 stars, but only 10k. Wow. So, and we've got the 7-star Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. So, very nice indeed. That he managed to pull through there and still managed to grab it. I love it. Right, then we go down to Ant-Man, Wasp, America Chavez, Crossbones. See, this is what I'm talking about. Anyone that's been playing for like 2 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, massive Crossbones, massive Yondu, you know, all like big Hulks, all of these type of characters that were awesome back in the day, they just don't cut the mustard anymore, right? Crossbones has no place anywhere at the moment. Kingpin, Hulk, all these guys just are so sporadic. Maybe if you've got huge red stars on them, maybe, but probably not. Shield Assault, well worth leveling up to get in line with the rest of the Shield team. I still rate the Shield team, even though they've definitely lost their day in the sun, as it were. They're still not a bad team, and they still drag out big teams in war. So never underestimate that Shield. You know, still people need to use big teams to get through big Shield cult like Fury teams. They do. So if you're dragging out X-Men, if you're dragging out Brotherhood, you know, all these teams that counter pretty much everyone, you're doing all right in my book. Ravager Bruiser there, straight at the bottom, and it's time for the safe squad. So we got a lot to work with. As I say, super interesting with a lot of the newer teams, a lot of the bigger teams going to be really high on this roster. Let's get into the safe squads. Right, top of the shop, and no surprises. Look at that Marauders team. Holy moly. I never want to fight you in war, dude. I'm struggling with them Emma Frost teams. I really am. Struggling with them. Absolutely beautiful. Then we move down to a 382k Supernatural team. Nothing to say about that. Absolutely beautiful. 352k on the Fantastic Four. Again, all these teams, in my opinion, are now complete teams. It would be lovely to see a little bit more on Strife. I feel like the bigger the Strife is, I feel like to counter these teams, you need to get through that Strife quickly, right? If Strife can taunt and like stay up for the first turn, all of a sudden this turns into a nightmare to deal with, because Sinister clones and yada yada yada. You've got to get through that Strife. So getting a little bit bigger Strife would be lovely. But these are complete teams without a shadow of a doubt, looking super good at the top of the shop. Then we move down to 333k on the Asgardians, again looking really good. I would definitely say a little bit of work needed on this blob. Not massive, but a little bit of work needed on this blob. Pyro, unfortunately, I think Pyro's really good, man. I think Pyro is probably one of the most underrated characters in this game. But I can see another mutant coming out in the not too distant future that will type of take his place, unfortunately. Then we go down to the Inhumans, and this is a straight up Inhuman team, but without Karnak, which is quite interesting. Karnak does bring a lot to the team with disrupts and things like that, but personally, I think I use Shield Operative on this team for Blitz, just for higher scores, and then for War I put Karnak back in. Interesting choice with Miss Marvel. I would prefer to see her on a Hero Brawlers team, to be honest. Then we move down, and then we've got the Symbiotes with Miss Marvel and Squirrel Girl. This is super interesting. I feel like these guys heal themselves enough, and I feel like she's definitely going to be better off with Miss Marvel over here and a Hero Brawlers team. Putting two other people in here will actually probably work out super nice. Like, you've got to think why they're on the team now. They can't remove negative effects, and this is what one of the problems is with the Symbiotes, is getting behind those negative effects. Maybe, and everyone keeps on telling me to do this in War, and I'm going to have to start doing it. I'll put my hands up. Maybe Psylocke could be a really good option on this team. Psylocke and pretty much anyone else. I would actually start moving these two off, though, for their own team, and keep that symbiote team together. They heal each other super well. They do awesome damage already. I don't feel like they're going to get much benefit from these two being on that team. Black Order then coming down, and we already know that we're working on Corvus and Proxima, and this is going to be a scary, scary team. Easy going to be a 350k team once these guys are boosted up a little bit. And again, a little bit on the coal. Defenders, absolutely great where they are. Positioning's all solid as well. Like, honestly, so far, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right, then we go down to the Guardians. Well, BK, the new BKT, with Vision in there as well. I like it. With all the other power armor guys being super low at the moment as well, makes absolute perfect sense to use Vision on this team. And even when you get the rest of the power armor up, including Ironheart, it makes perfect sense to use Vision on this team. It's a really, really solid team. Maybe a little bit of extra gear going into Rocket. Might not be a bad shout. Try and get him into a little bit of a higher power there. You want your blasters to be able to do the most damage, right? Like, blasters and tanks are super, 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 super important. And I would always rather a bigger blaster than anyone else on the team, if that makes sense. especially for like punch ups and punch downs and whatever. If your blaster is dealing the most damage, you're normally winning. Right, then we move down to the X-Men. Using Psylocke over here in the X-Men, you could quite easily put Wolverine in this place. I think they're similar power, if I remember rightly, as well. Put Wolverine in this place, move Psylocke up to the rest of the symbiotes, and all of a sudden, I think that symbiote team is going to have a lot more success as well. Right, then we move down to Captain Marvel and Ultron. See, I feel like Ultron is strong enough, especially in Blitz. He's strong enough to deal with any team anyway by himself. 9 times out of 10, providing you're not like picking X-Men or Fantastic Four or like Black Order. They're normally going to be one synergy team that's there, and Ultron's going to be good enough by himself. All of a sudden, you've got this Captain Marvel to move in with Squirrel Girl, Miss Marvel. You've got a really good Brawlers team there, man, and just making the use of the highest power, as it were. And if you're looking for war, for like a straight up defense, again, that is the team to be putting in there. She is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I feel like she's probably single-handedly the character that gets most standalone defense wins. When people are underestimating big Captain Marvel, man. Like, it's at their own peril, baby. It's at their own peril. Right, then we move down to the Wakandans. The Wakandans are pretty good, man. Like, you've got really decent opportunities here with a massive Black Panther. Very good Shuri as well. The other guys, I'm not that fussed about them. I'm really not. I wouldn't be doing too much with this team. All of a sudden, then you've got 6 red stars on this Mysterio as well. 5 on this Shocker. I'd probably leave them where they are and all. They're looking fairly solid there at 226k. Then we move down to Coulson Fury. I would like to see Assault in Falcon's place. Obviously, not straight away. Assault's super low at the moment, if I'm not mistaken. But I would like to see Assault there. He gives that extra crit damage. And very, 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 very good in this team. Plus, you're going to need to move Falcon off to the rest of the power armor anyway. So, it makes sense working on him at the same time. Right, then we move down to X-Force. And this is beautiful, man. 204k on X-Force already. Looking good there. 5 stars on Negasonic. 4 on X-23. 5 on Domino. Looking for that Doc Ock unlock, which again is going to improve that Sinister 6. Really, really, really solid. I like it, man. And obviously, they're very tough to build up when you can't farm their shards actively. They're very tough to get to a proper level. But 200k is probably about where mine sit as well. So super nice there. Then we move down, and this is probably one of the first teams that could definitely do with a little bit of work. Now, I wouldn't actually recommend this dude at all. I'd probably rather put Monstrosity in over this dude, but put Monstrosity next to Graviton, and then he can give Graviton that offense up as well, which makes this team hit a lot harder. So working on this team, it's probably the first team that I'd be like, you know what, AIM could definitely do with a little bit of work, as could Hydra, but Hydra not that much. I feel like AIM is probably the better bet at this point in time. Then moving on down to the Mercs. Now the Mercs definitely could do with a little bit of loving. Bullseye in there is absolutely beautiful in this team. So the Mercs may be my top priority, followed up by AIM. So Mercs and AIM, and moving. Honestly, I think the biggest thing would be moving around and getting that Hero Brawlers team. Now, looking at your Blitz wins, you're probably more of a Blitz and chill, push every now and again type of guy. But even in war and things like that, you know, it's definitely going to help. Getting the most out of those teams, getting the most out of your total collection power. Don't sleep on them Hero Brawlers, man. They might be one of the older teams, but don't you worry about us. Us old boys can still pack a punch every now and again. So, yeah, definitely moving towards that team. Wolverine up to the X-Men. Psylocke up to the Symbiotes. Squirrel Girl and Captain Marvel forming their Hero Brawlers team. All of a sudden, like, you've got some more teams coming out of this. And now this is super interesting. So I'm guessing this is the Ultimate 7 teams. And I love this. I absolutely love this. Using a lot of different teams. Now, what I would like to see is totally different teams, if that makes sense. So what I've tried to do recently is put together 3 Ultimate 7 teams. You know, try to put together 3, but with no interchangeable members. So, like, if Black Bolt goes down, I can either sub in Hela, or I can go, you know what, let's switch to Team 2. Let's switch to Team 3. Now, if Team 1, 2, and 3 have all gone down, or one person in Team 1, 2, and 3 have gone down, then I can like play around with it and make Team 4. But yeah, I really like to try and basically use as much of the roster. Mr. Sinister, I've been seeing a lot more in Ultimate 7 recently. Phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Really, really like him. The Symbiotes, probably my favourite team at the moment, like full stop. They're ridiculous. I really like this team, actually. I might try this one out. I super like this team. You're coming in there with the defense up straight away. You've got huge damage in Carnage and Symbiote Spider-Man. You've got the the offense down in Yo-Yo because you've not got a protector on the firm, and then you can clone anyone you like and remove Hill Block. This could actually be a huge amount of fun in Ultimate 7. I might actually give that a go myself. And then again, Ultimate 7, really solid node. A lot of people don't rate Magneto, and I think a lot of people don't know what they're talking about. Like, Magneto's really good, man, with the rest of the mutants, even in Ultimate 7. Right. So what would I be working on, man? Your roster's solid, dude. I'm not gonna lie, your roster is absolutely solid, especially for the days played. And where to focus on next is a very, very good question. Personally, I would make them small adjustments, move them teams around a little bit. You know, actually get probably another team or two out of that as well by moving those characters around. Then what would I be working on? Core focus would probably be the power armor right now. Probably be the power armor. While then working on like a individual character from this team. So I would pick like power armor and graviton, if that makes sense. Then like power armor and aim assault, you know. So literally just working on the team, working on one other. All of a sudden you've got two teams built up to the level where you want them. Definitely X-Force as well is well worth finishing off. And again, you've got obviously Black Order to finish off as well. So Black Order may be like the priority to finish. So what I'd start doing, actually, scrap the aim bit, is I would start, first and foremost, move all your teams around, yada, yada, yada. Then I would be working on power armor, because that's a great war offense team. And at the same time, I would be working on Corvus. After I'm done with Corvus, I'd be working on Proxima. That's going to take care of your bio gear, your cosmic gear, and your power armor as well is going to take care of your tech gear. They're different teams, makes a lot of sense. And then a little top up on Captain Marvel and things like that. Your roster's in a beautiful state, man. Absolutely beautiful shape. But guys and girls at home, what do you think? What would you do if you took over this roster right now? I'm super intrigued because I really like the way this is going. Guys, that is it for me today. 44. I hope you've enjoyed the roster review, man. Super appreciate you reaching out. Guys and girls watching at home, super appreciate your input on these series as well. Discord links are down below. Live stream links are down below. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Even if you don't know what to say, just go, yeah, nice roster, dude. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And until next time, Commanders, be smart, be strong, be safe. And I'll see you on the flip side. You take it easy.